Hello, everybody. It is time for DAMM happy hour. So yeah, let's get ready to make a mandala. This one was the one that I did yesterday, and I used white gel pens, Jelly Roll by Sakura on the black paper. Was really fun. So if you want to go and take a look at that video, it's in the it's on my timeline, or it's in my photo albums. In the album called DAMM Videos, I think. Anyway, so it was fun. Just a normal mandala, really, although it kind of, to me, actually came out looking a little bit like a lace doily, and I sort of love that about it. But anyway, that's when those did yesterday. So let's start ours today. All right. I am using an orange pen today, just for fun. So hopefully I will make sure that that you guys can actually see the lines that I'm making as I do it with this orange. It's not as contrasty as black. But all right, is everybody ready? Let's start with a circle today. Can you see that? Oh yeah, I think you can see that okay. And then let's do another circle around there. And how about we make some of our little chubby triangle petals. Hello, Sabrina. On the patio with a glass of wine, making a mandala. I don't think it gets any better than that. And okay, so have our little, almost looks like a little, hello Daisy, a little sun now. Let's go and just make more petals. So let's just go from the top of each of these and just make another little chubby triangle going around. And yeah, I think you guys can see that orange, okay, right? Yeah. And so let's see, what are we gonna do now? Let's take and let's make some kind of long, skinny leaf shapes coming up from the center of these. And again, I never have anything planned out in my head for these, so it's always a mystery to me what comes out. But that's kind of the fun of doing these mindfulness or meditative mandalas, is you just kind of go for it. There's no plan. There's no, trying to make it perfect, anything. Hello, Adele. How are you? And so we're just, focusing on our lines and our shapes, making sure we're staying mindful of our... Sorry about that, guys. Could you hear that? My phone rang. That was kind of weird. And so let's see. Let's now take, let's do a circle around. So going from, just like the top portion of these lines, just make our little curved line. And so just think of it as, making a line that's a little bit curved. And give me 1 second. I'm going to just unplug. I keep banging my the power cord, and which shakes the whole phone, and I'm sure is not pleasant to look at. So, oh, thank you, Adele. Have you watched any of the mandalas before? I know sometimes if you actually just watch from your news feed and don't click on the video, I don't know that you're watching. Your name doesn't come up. Only if you actually click on the video do I see your name pop up that you're watching. So I always find it interesting, like, sometimes I'll have, like 10 people watching, but I've only seen like 2 people pop up on screen. So, it's interesting how many people are just watching from their, as it just scrolls by on their news feed. And all right, so let's make some, you know what, let's make another layer of this. So we're going to go from just the very tip of these now and just kind of, making that same line, we're just going to do an extra layer. Now think about it just as individual lines. We're just making one little sort of curved line at a time, and that way you don't kind of get overwhelmed with trying to make a perfect circle around there. And these I'm kind of going up above the thing a little bit. It doesn't matter. We are, again, not trying to be perfect. There. And an extra kind of layer there. And so let's see, what are we going to do now? Let's do, can I say let's do one more time? I keep thinking of all these things coming through my head, and then I'm like, no, not that. Let's try something else. No, not that. Let's try something else. I'm just always trying to think of different things to show you guys to do other than my normal kind of fallback shapes that I make. So let's just go with a normal fallback shape for now, because my brain is going blank. So let's just start in the middle, and we're going from the middle of each of these sections, and we're going to go up, straight up from here, and we're just going to make kind of a larger chubby triangle. And if it helps to actually make your little marks each time, definitely do that. But it's not necessary. If they come out all uneven and wonky, that's perfectly fine. So I hope everybody is doing well. I always promise to myself that this is going to be like a COVID-free zone. Like, I don't want to talk about it at all. Everybody talks about it. Everything you go into, people are talking about it. So I try to avoid getting on those topics. But it is nice to check in on how everybody's doing and how are you keeping yourself busy during the day. Any gardeners? Is anybody like really gotten into their garden since you have more time? I know a lot of people are, still working, so that makes it different. But I actually am not a gardener at all. I have no desire. It more stresses me out than anything to go out and garden. Let's do a double. So we're going to start in the same spot here, but we're going to bring the center up to here. So it's going to kind of be a little bit of a taper. Like this. And then the same thing here. And so you can make your little guide point, or you can just kind of eyeball it. And kind of get like a double petal look thing going here. Hello, Sandy. Are you still there, or did you just hop on and off? Sometimes I don't see people's names until they've actually already popped back off. I hope some of you are making mandalas. If not along with me now, at least at different times when you have other free time. My videos are always saved on my timeline, and I also have an album in my photos called DAMM videos, where I've been saving, like I think there's 6 or 7 in there now. So you can always just go back and catch any one of those to draw mandalas to later if you can't do it when I'm live. All right, let's see. Let's do another center shape. So let's go ahead and make like another kind of long leaf shape in the middle of these, or like a pointed oval, or I don't know what you want to call. I need to find a funny name for them, like my chubby triangles and my Hershey Kiss shapes and my squashed Hershey Kiss shapes. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Renina. Hello, Ramina. Oh, several people popped on while I wasn't looking. It's hard for me to see my screen. Just it sits a little bit above my eye level to record, and so I kind of have to stretch my neck up to see who's popped on. And let's see. Let's take. Let's make some semicircles from the tip of these. So just doing from the top of each of these petals, make kind of a little semicircle, and around to the tip of the next one. We'll just have a little bit of white space going in there. Opening that up. There we go. Get back to kind of our circle shape. And if your guys' circles don't come out, nice and circular, all, kind of wompy or lopsided, that is perfectly fine. Again, we're not trying to be perfect. This is not high art. We are just trying to have some time to be mindful and meditative and kind of, center ourselves inward and have a little downtime and creative time. Hello, Bianca. And so let's see. You know what I want to do? I want to do this double thing again. So from the points that we just did, we're going to make another semicircle just a little bit above the one that's there. So these might come out a bit wonkier. As the lines that you're making get larger and longer, it's harder to keep them steady and even. But we're not going to worry about that. I always say this, making mandalas is a really great exercise if you're a perfectionist. I'm a huge perfectionist, and making mandalas, especially these mindful ones where I don't do any planning beforehand, really help with kind of just, letting go of my perfectionism, especially because, and I always recommend to everybody to use a pen or a marker instead of a pencil. Because pencils, you just are constantly wanting to erase. Every line that you think is a little bit of off, you're like scrubbing and erasing. And that is definitely not, what we're trying to do with this. It's definitely not mindful to just be, constantly thinking about what you feel are mistakes. So drawing with a pen just, allows you to just like take the lines as they come, not worry about if there is unevenness or mistakes or anything like that. And so working through that perfectionism, because you kind of just have to let go. Let's see. Let's actually, in the center of these, I want to make circles. So just make circles going through here in each one. And again, it's almost impossible to make a perfect circle, so do not be concerned if your circles look more like eggs or ovals. Let's see. What are we going to do next? Let's see, what time check here. Okay, it's just been 15 minutes. Let's see. Let us go ahead and make... You know what I'm going to do? Okay, so let's go just above our circles here and make kind of a little circle around it. All right, so you're just making a little curved line above just, you know, like sort of copying the shape of that circle. And you can do them all at once, or you can do them one at a time, but since I was showing you, just go around and make those shapes. So a lot of times in mandalas, you don't have to necessarily have all the shapes touching. So usually they'll, you know, each layer will kind of touch each other or overlap each other, but they don't necessarily have to do that. You can just, you know, keep the elements separate and just give them that little sort of, you know, freedom space. So from the, you know, tip of each one here, we're going to shape, you know, kind of trace this semicircle here around. So just make another semicircle. And just from end to end. I'm trying to turn the paper slowly so it doesn't make anybody motion sick. I know it does me when things spin too quick in videos. But it's just I'm really trying to be conscious of turning my paper. And I recommend that for you to turn your paper as you're working instead of trying to cock your wrist. I've had some pains in my tendons go through here, and that will just get worse and worse. And that's just because you're that, you know, repetitive motion and kind of straining those tendons there. So turning your paper and keeping your hand in the same position lets you, you know, have better, not damage your or injure your wrist. Let's see. Mary, Susie, hello. Thanks for coming in and watching. All right, let's see. Now, another thing that we can do, okay, I'm going to just, since we've done this double thing several times, let's just go ahead and do it double again here of these little half circles. So a lot of times in design, doing repeated shapes is nice. So if you, hello Stacy, if you do one shape, go ahead and do at least one other shape that's similar to that. And that's not a hard and fast rule. It's just one of those sort of like design tips that you know, people give just because it's pleasing to the eye to see that sort of repetitiveness. Okay, so we made this, and what I want to do now, and again, also, you know, kind of bringing that repetitive, is I want to make some smaller circles around the edges here. And to be able to more easily space things out, you can do side. So we'll do one in the middle, and then we'll do one on each end, and then you can do one right in the middle of those. And so that helps in just being able to space things out evenly. And again, it's not by any means perfectly spaced, but it's better than if I would have just tried to like do one or the other, and it would have ended up all, you know, really off. So we'll do that. And then this one's a much smaller space than the others. And that happens a lot. I mean, it's almost, you know, would be weird not to happen when you're doing, you know, these mandalas freehand, because it's just impossible to make, you know, perfect shapes and have everything spaced perfectly when we're doing it by eye. All right, let's see. We'll put these in. What time check? Okay, we'll put these in, and then let's just do a little bit of filling in or decorating on the inside. See what we can think of to put in the filler spaces. There we go. So yeah, so that looks kind of cool. I like that. So let's see. Let's do One thing that we can do when we have these like larger spaces is you can fill in with just other types of shapes. So you can put spirals or little flower shapes. You can do spirals that are kind of like this, like, you know, more of an open, like I'll take from here and make a spiral in like that. So that's kind of nice too. And again, just having that sort of a little bit of a disconnect with the other shapes. And so I'll just do that on a couple of them. One thing when you're doing these kind of shapes is, and again, it's not important if it, you know, if it goes off, but what I do a lot is I'll forget, or I'll get confused on which direction I'll put the spiral. So this one, the spiral is going out, but over here, by the time I get around here, I'll have forgotten, and I'll put the spiral going in. That happens a lot, and usually by the time you finish your mandala, you don't even notice those things anyway. So I just always like staying conscious of which direction I'm putting like spirals and things like that. So yeah, and then sometimes it's fun to just put like, you know, random dots. And you know what? I'm going to put a circle here. So this is kind of just a much looser type of mandala. And let's see, what else can we do? Let's put in, let's see, one thing that I do like to do is I like to combine some like more harsh graphic geometric shapes with organic shapes. So I'm going to, in this circle, I'm going to actually put some stripes. And let's see, they don't need to be spaced out perfectly. I just think that that contrast of having the very organic shapes with the more structured shapes looks really good. So let's see, what else can we do? And you guys, as you're doing it, feel free to put any of your own decorations in too. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. Hello, Haley. I just saw that you popped in. Thank you for coming and watching my mandala. Hopefully you are drawing one yourself too. Let's see. I'm going to do a kind of repeat of this shape, but I'm going to fill it in, just so I feel like the mandalas always need a little bit of like chunkiness. It's like a little bit of bulk in some of the shapes, so that they look a little bit more grounded and not so too airy and light. They have some like weight to them. And a lot of time that's done by actually making line weights. Like we can do on this, like make this center or this inside chubby triangle a little bit thicker of a line. And that will give it some extra substance too. There we go. Let's see. Oh, time check. Okay, I got a couple minutes. I need to log off because I have my neighborhood sing-along that I need to get to, and I record that live right after I'm done with this, so I always got to be extra conscious of time. I'm sort of the designated videographer for the event, just because I think nobody else bothers We've been doing it for like over a month now, like, I don't know, 5 weeks. It's just time is like kind of like freaking me out a little bit. I have no idea if things have been 3 days or, 6 weeks. All right, so I think that will about do that. Trying to think of what I can do in here, and maybe something to kind of mix it up. What you can do too is you can fill in things with, more like kind of different types of fillers. You don't have to actually all the time do, specific shapes. So I'm just doing like repeated curved lines, like kind of like tic-tac-toe, but with curved lines, and putting these in, and it kind of gives them almost like a 3D look. Like they actually look like kind of globes sitting there. So that's really cool. And anyway, I think that I need to, I gotta go. Again, if you guys have made a mandala, I would love to see it. Just, pop a picture in the comments here, or if you are brave enough to put it on your timeline, just tag me. I'd love to see it. And please share this video or my event page. I would love to just, be able to have everybody come and make some, meditative mandalas, and just have a little time in their day to, relax and kind of, focus inward and not think about all the crap that's going on in our lives. And they don't even have to draw. Watching me draw them is almost just as good. So yeah, that is it. Everybody have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Mwah. Bye-bye.